We are starting now the Ruby team BoF that we organize every year. I'm Lucas Kanashiro, and we are going to discuss some stuff related to our team. I would like to start basically with some introductions, but I think we don't need that because right now we have just Praveen and Anantu here, and I think we all know each other enough for introductions. So let's skip that part. As every year, I would like to start with some statistics. Again, this is provided by Andreas project, the team metrics project, which is really good. I recommend to everyone who wants to get insight from your team to check those statistics. Let's go quickly through all of that. The first one is this list of activities for the Debian Ruby mailing list. I don't think this has been changing for a while because, to be honest, I don't think our team is making heavily use of the mailing list. Usually we get in touch with each other via our IRC or other means. So this is kind of stuck. If you check since, I don't know, 2023, 1 year ago or something, the numbers are stable, and Praveen is the people who is sending most of the mails to our mailing list. Usually we send mails there just to announce big things like transitions or stuff like that. So I don't think we have many insights from this data. The other one is bugs closed by our team. Again, if you check the end here in 2024 and 2023, we don't have many bugs. We are not doing mass bug filling when you are starting transitions. I mean, the last time we did that, but in the previous, I think we didn't. So also quite stable again. Etcetera is the one that has closed more bugs, almost 700 bugs. But all of us are on the top of the ranking here, people who are active in our team. So again, I don't think we have many insights from this data as well. VCS commits in the Ruby team namespace on Salsa. Here, it's hard to see because of the scale of the graph here, but I believe that if we check the last 2 years, we are also quite stable. We have Cedric with more commits because he has been doing a bunch of mass commits over the time, fixing stuff in all of our packages. So I think that's the reason why he's there. We have Praveen also at the top of the rank because he has been doing a bunch of things as well. But again, most active people are here on top of the rank. So this is a graph that I like to take a look every year because it shows how many people are working in a specific package in our team. So most of the package has at least 4 people that already worked on that. So I think it is a good number. That means that we don't have a single package with a single person working on that, which may become a bottleneck at some point. So I think our team, we make a good work regarding that because we don't take ownership too strictly. So everyone uploads everything, and no one has any issue when someone else is doing that. But of course, we still have almost, 90 packages with a single person working on that. But I think that's fine. Probably no one needed to touch it. So if it's needed, I think it wouldn't be a problem for someone else to go there and apply whatever change is needed. And you can see that we also have packages with more than 17 people who already touched the package, which I think it's a good data for us to at least show and how collaborative we are. Okay, many notifications, yeah. Uploaders. So uploaders of the package Ruby team, how many packages we did upload to the Debian archive. You see that recently we have a spike here. Maybe because of, I don't know, the transitions that we are doing, not sure exactly. But again, Praveen is on the top of the rank with Cedric, Terceiro, like, I'm there as well, Utkarsh, so I think it shows the same. Maybe this is a good insight that we need more people, right, doing more work, because you can see just the same names across like all those data that we presented. So maybe I think something that we could focus on is getting more people on those graphs, like in the future years, instead of just the same set of people. So WNPP, like new packages that we created, it has been quite stable. Actually, we have been removing a bunch of packages instead of creating them. So I think this is also good news, because we are not a big team, and I think we do maintain almost 1,500 packages, and that's too much for us. So in general, I think this is good news. Less packages for us to maintain. And the key packages are, we can focus on key packages instead of spending time with a bunch of leaf packages. Any comments on that, like those data? The mic. Yeah. Is it working? The mic? Is the mic working? The mic? Yeah.
Yeah. For GitLab also, like earlier I used to try to package all the Ruby dependencies. Now we're not able to match that, so we are just trying to on a best effort basis. So many of the dependencies are now we just do a gem install in the postins because it's in contrib anyway. So yeah, it would be less packages.
Which is good, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Any comment, Anato, about anything that I presented? He has another.
Yeah. So about new packages, it's I primarily work with GitLab and Diaspora Installer. So so it's just like Praveen said, not many packages, but like going back to getting new people into the team, I think we need more active support from the team for that, because what I see is that when I or let's say someone else who is packaging stuff in GitLab, we send an RFS. Of course, we can get Praveen to upload it, and we pester him to do that. Mm-hmm. But there is no one else who is uploading stuff. Abhijit sometimes do, but other than that, unless I prod Praveen, if he hasn't already uploaded it, it just stays there. So if we need more people to come to the team, I think we need to more actively support them. And also, one thing I noticed is that our mailing list does not have much activity, but then I go to the IRC and ask some things. There are I do get answers on time sometimes, but quite often it's the questions are just left there. It gets overwritten by something later. It's missed. So unless maybe if I specifically mention someone and ask for something, it just gets it just goes unnoticed for forever. So I think with regards to the people staying like this for a long time, we will need people to be more active in supporting the new people that are coming to the team, so that they can get better and maybe keep bringing more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something that I like from my experience, with the Brazilian community, I think we miss getting in touch more often. So sometimes I miss the monthly RSC meeting that we used to have, because that at least is a lot of time. It could be 1 hour that you get in a month that you can do some work. Maybe there is nothing to discuss, but we can spend time there reviewing stuff from new people or stuff like that. and also chat with people. So I think this is a good idea, you know. I don't know if Praveen agrees and if others, I don't know if someone is following our BoF online maybe, but I would advocate for that, you know.
Yeah, I think so. Monthly meetings would be good to resume. Maybe you can try.
Yeah, because I've had this like I feel like when you are together doing things, at least in a like frequently, at least I think things work better instead of we just like waiting for someone to go through the mailing list and check all the requests for sponsorship packages. Sometimes it's hard. I'm not doing much of that as well, so I think if I have like this day, this time, I will be available for everything related to the Ruby team. I could, if there is nothing to discuss, actually, we can just spend time sponsoring and helping, whatever, like if you're stuck with something. So maybe I think this is a good idea for us. So I will add a note here as an action item, maybe.
The inactivity is covered later in the agenda, and
Okay.
but like, yeah, this is something that we have tried to do over the last 3-4 years, and it hasn't worked. I mean, sadly, like we take a action item to start a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly meet, but then maybe the first two, a lot of people attend, but then gradually the attendance dies and then it just dies.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just dies because sometimes we had a bunch of those meetings with nothing to do. So
Yeah.
if you just go there and there's nothing to do, you will go 1 time, 2 times, and
then
the third time you just give up,
essentially.
right?
I mean, so that's what I had mentioned. Like, this has been, if you see the second point, this has been the case for like a few years. Should we just accept it? Like, should we just, or?
I don't think we should, like, it is what it is, right? But I think we need to, like, work towards changing that. As I mentioned, I just showed the data here. In all the graphs, you have the same set of people, and that's not good, right? We are not bringing new people.
Exactly. I mean,
And-
that's the point. That's correct. I would love to do that, but then near the release, we have a lot of things to talk about, and then eventually, so we really need to make sure that, you know, we are active, or at least somebody comes says hi, that hey, they're around or something, so that there's some activity, because right now there's none really.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, I added the action item here. I will put my name here. I will send an email to our mailing list to propose at least to restart this monthly RSC meeting. So as I explained here, we can use it to discuss anything that we need to, but we can also use the time to do work, right, together.
Yeah, maybe I think
That's good.
there should be some RC bugs at least to fix.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
so we should.
Yes. Okay, so I think this is good so far. Like, so, okay, Utkarsh added some notes here. It will be good to have the evolution of the number of bugs open too. Yeah, this we can discuss with Andreas to see if he can add this data there. About the Curva maintainers, does it count unique names on Salsa or the uploader fields? Which one do you mean? The uploaders or this one?
Well, both.
Both. I think this one depends. This is related to the Git commits. So if you change it, your name there, I think it counts as 2. I guess. But we can confirm with.
And even for the uploads, if you change the email ID, the upload.
Yeah, I think it's But I don't know if we need to ask Andreas. I don't know if he checks the name or if you just change the email, he considers it another upload. I'm not sure, but we can confirm with him
Right.
later. Okay, so this was the first time. The second topic that we have here, like it's the Ruby 3.3 transition, like which is we are working on right now. We try to like organize a sprint during DebConf. I feel that it's not very effective as it used to be when we are doing here because we have a bunch of other things happening. We want to talk to people. We want to interact with people. So when we have our own sprint, like, and you are fully focused on that, it's very effective. We can like fix a bunch of things, and usually we like, for instance, we fix most of the issues because usually we go to sprints with all those build failures, right? And after a week in the sprint, we usually fixed most of them, all the key packages. So during this DebConf, I feel that we didn't do that. Like, we still have a bunch of failures and key packages like not ready for Ruby 3.3. So at least this is my feedback. I don't know, Praveen did some work.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to add something along the same lines. I think DebConf is really, as you noted, there's a lot of things happening. There's like a lot of people coming, your old friends, you're making new friends and things like that, so you're always distracted. For the sprints, I think a dedicated sprints, even if remotely, even if it's a remote sprint, better in person, has always worked, because then you focus dedicatedly on issues, and then you can pair program with like other people, for example, Tercero and other experienced people. You can get more. David, for example, who joined us in Paris 2 years ago, that was pretty helpful, right?
Yeah.
So we had those dedicated hours. We were fixing, we were tracking all those things. That's just much more helpful than piggybacking on DebConf. So yeah, I mean, it honestly, like, it did not work as it did the last time. And last time it was like a dedicated sprint, so. Do you want me to take notes?
Yeah, that will be helpful. Do you have something to say about that, Praveen? Like,
Yeah, I think dedicated sprints would work better. Then we can focus on the Ruby work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think something that we like. Yeah, add notes. Let's plan the next sprint. Like, let's plan dedicated sprints and use DebConf for more general things. We like discussions like we do here with this BoF that we have every year, so we can discuss things here. But to do real work, I believe we work better when we are all seated together in a room and fixing things that works way better.
That's right. So after the transition parts like Ruby, Rails, and Vec, and the Ruby bits, I've added a agenda for the next sprints.
Right.
So let's talk about it in this sprint
Yeah,
section.
later. Okay.
Do you want to give a update on the 3.3 transition so far? Where we are at, what we need, and call for help?
Yeah, I tried. Those are the steps that I presented in the previous BoF that we have. So I just updated here. So Ruby 3.3 is already in experimental. Ruby defaults in the experimental already supports Ruby 3.1 and 3.3 as an alternative interpreter. I rebuilt all the reverse dependencies, so everything's available here. I think everyone here already knows that, but I'm just showing. So we have right now 320 packages failing to build against Ruby 3.3. Not necessarily those failures are related to Ruby 3.3, but those are FTBFSs that we need to work on. So yeah, that's a lot. I think it's more than we usually have. I don't think we usually have more than 300 packages failing, but at least we have like 1,200, more than 1,200 passing. But a lot of work to be done, and my goal at least was to finish this until the end of the next month. But to be honest, like, I was expecting to fix at least half of it during the DebConf, but we didn't manage to do that. Of course, we have other things to do here, other duties. So.
Oh, I think there might be many more class of bugs. I think I checked Ruby Blade. It says sprockets depends on Ruby rack less than 3. So it got entangled with the Ruby rack.
Right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are some failures like that. You already identified some and I reviewed them. Yeah, this is another one. Right, so maybe I would say it's not 320, but maybe I don't know, 200 or something. Yeah, but
Yeah, but I think Ruby Rack will have a lot of
Yeah.
dependencies, so probably.
yeah, this is another transition that we have to discuss here. Like I checked the status of Ruby Rack, and I see that from in the last sprint I did that, and most of projects were not supporting Rack 3. But nowadays I see that most of them support, and some of them don't. But for instance, Rails do support that now, Rails 7, Sinatra, and all. Most of the web frameworks, they do support Rack 3 nowadays, but those means like big transitions that we need to work on. That's why I added here Rack 3 and Rails 7. I think we should like do both of them before the next release. I think that will be a goal that we need to set, like shipping Ruby 3.3, Rails 7 and Rack 3. That's why I added those here. I don't know what you're feeling about that. GitLab does support Rails 7, right, nowadays?
Yeah, it does, but we anyway are not using the archive version, so.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah. So that, okay.
So GitLab is a loose dependency for.
Yeah, I see.
So we have one less main important package to care about, like GitLab, because GitLab used to break pretty often.
Yes.
So now that GitLab
Yeah, that's
is-
good, yeah.
Yes, GitLab has switched to gem install. I think. Do you
Whenever
think,
it doesn't match the archive version, we do gem install. So.
do you think? I mean, of course, it's good to have, the debs, but since we're using gem install anyway, do you think we can switch to gem install for most of the libraries and get rid of the package the debs if they're not being used by anything apart from GitLab?
I mean, we could do that. I mean, if we have a list of packages or if.
Well, I mean, anything that was packaged for GitLab, like, for example,
Many of them are also dependencies for other packages.
Yeah, but then, like, for example, there's first level of GitLab dependencies, for example, which are directly needed by GitLab, and then there's second level and there's third level, which is like dependencies of GitLab, and dependencies of dependencies of
we
GitLab.
would like to get the bundler to support that properly. Currently, we're doing gem install, but we would like the bundler itself to be able to pick the version from the archive if available. But then David did that patch, but only it works half of the time. I mean, it's not complete. So if we could get bundler to work that way, then it makes it easier.
Yeah, because I feel all these transitions, like the Rails and Rack and Ruby in general, will have much less failures if we just get rid of the packages that are needed by, like, bigger, like GitLab. GitLab needs like, I don't know, 300 Ruby dependencies, like, levels. And if you get rid of these, then we have to stop caring about everything that breaks, and we can just switch to gem install.
Something that like I've been planning to do, like every leaf package that are failing to build, let's just remove it.
Yeah.
Because it's less work for
But
us. And
here, this is a different case. This is not about just a leaf package, but there's an exception. Like packages which are dependent or dependencies of GitLab, like,
Yeah, but I mean,
Well,
if there is another package depending on that, we can remove it, right?
We can if it's only needed by GitLab. Like,
Yeah, if it's only doing the regular, yeah.
yeah. So are you okay with that? That's
yeah,
my.
yeah. Yeah, but I would like to have bundler fixed. If bundler can natively support this, then it makes easy. Otherwise, we have to manually do a gem install for each of them. If bundler can support it, like if it's available in the archive, take it. Else, you take from the gem Ruby gem.
What do you mean you have to gem install like each packet separately? Like, why not just give it a file and that it just gem installs?
Yeah, but then we have to manually track that. I mean, if bundler can do that automatically, that makes it simpler.
Do you have a bug or do you have a patch?
Already like David did half of it, but then he missed some part, but then that is left like that.
Are you okay to start a thread about it? Like, just ask for help for this bundler thing? Can you write a mail to the mailing list asking so that, okay, sounds good.
Sounds good.
So it'll be easier for future transitions. Like
Yes.
this one we
Yeah, reducing the number of the packages, as I mentioned at the beginning, is the best that we can do because
Yeah.
we are a small team and we maintain 1,500 packages. So different from the Python team where a bunch of external people fix things. Our team, we don't have that. It's basically just us. So I think we need to focus on key packages, right? We need to focus on what matters. And
which also means that we should attract more people, attract or help or whatever. We should have more people joining because
yes.
yeah, it's been for the last few years we have like a same number of
Yes.
set of people who are doing the core work and like
Yeah, but that's the thing that we are discussing with Anand too, like at the beginning, because
Yeah.
we are not doing a good job, like in welcoming all those newcomers. Like that's why one of the action items is to restart the monthly meetings to see at least if we can do some work, like in a constant timeline.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so I don't think there is much. It's just a call for help here again to try to help us reduce the number of build failures that you can find here. If you find any false negative here, just let me know, like Praveen did already, so I will try to fix everything. But go through those packages and see. Some of them are pretty straightforward to fix. Others you just need to update to a new upstream release. So it's just the number which is high, but actually I think not all the packages are too hard to fix, but we need people like to.
Yeah, so Utkarsh, I have added the bundler bug to the pad.
Oh, great.
Right.
Great.
Can you also send a
Yeah,
mail to the list so that it's just there archived?
Right, so this is the call for help. Let's see if we, I really want to get this done by the end of August. I don't know, something like that.
Can you send also this call for help with all these details to the list?
I sent, but I can reply to that.
Yeah, the update with
Yeah,
where
everything's
we are.
in the mailing list.
Perfect, thank you.
So I think it's here, right? It's this one? No, it's not this one. Oh, why we have this is from the previous. we are shipping Ruby 3.3, not Ruby 3.2. Like we skipped Ruby 3.2. And the Rails 7, do we have plans, like, do we want to start it straight away after the Ruby 3.3 transition is done? Because I think it's a good idea for us to ship it in the next release. What do you guys think, since you are maintaining Rails?
I mean, I think with GitLab we have only soft dependency on Rails now, so I think mainly
It will be easier.
Redmine and DebCI, these are the big packages that
Yeah.
need Rails. So
Redmine, like, I don't know, yeah. Duck has been working on it, but I don't know if you have, many users using that, and it's painful, right, to maintain Redmine, I think, nowadays, but.
Yeah, I know of a few people who are using it,
Okay.
and we need it, and I try to update it, and I keep backports because of that. Would I like to drop it? 100%, any day. But I'm not sure if we can do
No,
that yet.
if we have users, of course, we should try to
Yeah, and then
fix things.
yeah, we should ask Deck and see what's
On the
the
mailing
plan
list.
for Rails if they want to do something. Or
Yeah, we need to check. Probably the latest version of Redmine already supports Rails 7, right?
Probably,
Very
yeah, but then, yeah,
likely,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and as for the Rails transition, again, ideally we'd like to ship it in the next release because that'd be good, along with Rack 3. But it depends on who is available to help. I've seen Tercero to be a bit more, as he should, be a bit more inactive and do a lot of other things. That's fine, that's perfect. With my decreased capacity, and same for Praveen, same for you?
Yeah, I don't think I can push a transition of this size just by myself.
Yeah, it's like it takes it's like last time we did it's 650 packages. So, and it's
Last time we had a I think it was Ruby 5. Jongmin did a GSOC thing for Rails.
yeah, it was like a
transition.
whole project, and so
Yeah.
like and then it was not complete by the end of it. Like there were so many things to do anyway. So, yeah, it's like a big transition. So we should do it, but to find some availability and like capacity, I was just talking to Praveen that we could, and we as me and Praveen, that we could ask perhaps friction funding to like support this. I know they need Redmine. I know they need Rails.
They need Ruby.
So yeah, perhaps with that funding it gets a bit easier
Of course, Of course. Yeah. Because to be honest, for our users, at least for Rec 3, like someone from Ubuntu did a security review, and it will be way better for our users if we ship Rec 3 instead of Rec 2. There are a bunch of flaws there that could make our users vulnerable in a stable release, which I don't want to, like...
yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah, I understand.
But then it's on a volunteer capacity, it's just too much work for...
I do understand because we don't have many people. Again, we need more newcomers. And I don't think we have enough time to organize a sprint before the release, right? Do you know when is the feature freeze? Like the freeze of...
It said 6 months, I don't know.
Because we do have a lot of work to do before the release. If we could focus some time, maybe we would be able to tackle all of those issues.
Yeah, if my manager is listening, we have a lot of work to do, yes. So, yeah, I'm gonna talk to Praveen. We had a quick discussion about this.
So add an action item for us to follow up
The
on
freeze is not announced yet, so...
But it should be January or
Yeah, I think
February?
January, February it happens.
Maybe if we have time, maybe January, we can try something. I don't know if people are up to that, but we can start a discussion.
Let's talk about it in the sprint section, yes.
Yeah, exactly. This is the next topic, so that we still have 10 minutes, so we can move on to... Like, we have all those transitions, we know that we have a bunch of work, we know what we want to ship to our users, but we also know that we don't have enough, like, people to... in time, not that just people with time to do all of these until the next release. So it will be good to have a next sprint. Last year we discussed about a sprint in Japan because Hideki approached us and he said, of course in Japan they have this huge Ruby community and it would be great to be there to get in touch with all of those upstream developers. So that's an idea. So I invited him to be here, but I think he's busy with other stuff. But if people think it's reasonable, we don't have yet an idea how much it would cost for us, but we can try to, I will try to talk to him before the end of DebConf to see how reasonable it would be if it will be something that Debian could afford. Like flying everyone to Japan. Of course, we will very likely need to do it together with a conference there to get in touch with other people, not just sprinting. So maybe this could be an idea for them. If we want to do something before the release, maybe we could do somewhere else, but then after that do it in Japan because we will do more social thing.
Yeah. So when I was preparing the agenda, I put Japan on first because it looks reasonable because a lot of things come into the play. In activity, we need more people. Japan is the community, is the Ruby hub,
biggest,
right? So we need more people. And what's better to get upstream people support us fix
and
things
it's also
first.
a good opportunity for us to identify issues that upstream developers has with our ecosystem and improve it. So I think
essentially, so that'll be really good. So if Hideki, if it works for him and if there's some mini DebConf planned, I think we should piggyback on that.
Yeah, the point that I don't think there is, I talked to him like quickly. I'm not sure if he's planning to host mini DebConf or.
So is he okay to organize a sprint or a
I don't
Ruby
know.
sprint? Just
Yeah, that's something that we need to talk about.
So I found so there are many Japanese people that have come here this time to this DebConf, and some of them are interested in having a DebConf in Japan. So if we can gather them up and talk with them, there might be an opportunity for a mini DebConf.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, we need to talk to those people and see. But I mean, if we're in a hurry, if we say we want to do a sprint before the freeze or whatever, I don't know if we should wait for them.
I'm not sure if something that quickly can be organized with so many people like Cedric and Tercero.
It's not that quickly. It's like next year.
Yeah, but then it's like 6 months, no? Like
This
January is like
this is
6
enough
months.
time,
If it works out, sure, 100%. But if it doesn't, then perhaps like a remote sprint or something. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best because time zones.
Yes, that's the main issue because like half of the part of the scene is in India and the other half in Brazil and people
Yeah.
in the middle and so that's why usually I think it I don't know if it worked pretty well remote sprint because of the time zone.
Then we bribe Hideki to organize something for us.
We can try to and that's our plan I think, right?
Yeah.
So do we want action items for that?
To bribe?
Not to bribe, man. To kick this off. Like,
By bribing?
that's up to you. If the action item is assigned to you, you do whatever you want.
I think we could do it in India as well. In Kochi, I think we have the place that we took for the conference center that did not happen, so we could use that space.
Sure. That's
a
works.
fallback. Yeah.
I mean, that works.
I think last time we tried, but then Tesoro couldn't come or something. The
Yeah.
was looking.
Yes. I mean, yes, that is a good fallback. I think if you can take the lead on that, that'd be perfect. Otherwise, the only reasoning for Japan was because Hideki was interested. We have a lot of upstream devs, and I know of a lot of upstream developers because of the next topic, which is Rubocop packaging. So I've worked with a lot of. I don't not work on a regular basis, but like I know of a lot of people because of the tool that we made. So all of them are based in Japan, and that's. But perhaps like that'd be a good fallback if you want to do something quick. That could be a place to go.
Yeah. Okay, so action items for this, like, what should we do?
Something.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes, so I think we can wrap this up with this subject.
There's another thing, Rubocop packaging update.
Did you do anything regarding that?
Yeah. So I mean, it's the
No,
same.
let's finish the sprint topic
okay.
first. Yeah. I mean, we just need action items. So the first question: do we want to try to do something before freeze? That's the first question.
Let's talk to Hideki. If that's doable, then sure. And I don't think we should.
No, but I mean, the question is like, regardless where. Do we
Yeah,
want
but then-
to have a sprint before freeze to tackle those big transitions that we have? That's the question, the initial one.
Oh, we can't decide that ourselves. I think we need to send it to the list because Antonio.
Yeah, but we can say among us. What do you think? What do you think?
Sure.
Of course, we need to sent to the list. It's not just us,
Yeah,
right?
I mean-
Of course. But it's just us discussing things here, so I want to know the opinion. Because someone here says, no, let's not do it, so we do not send anything to the list. That's what I'm telling.
But like, my only apprehension is the freeze dates. It's generally January, February. So like, if you want to organize it, why not December? Like that's much easier because, and then what do we want to do? For example, the Ruby transition, that would have, I'm hoping that would have wrapped up by then, right? That's the plan,
should,
right? Like you need to ship it in by October at
Yeah.
least, right? For the
But then
release.
it will be Rails and Rack, yeah.
Yes, so if we just need a sprint for Rails and Rack, it's not urgent. It can wait. It's a good thing to do, but like a Rails transition in January is bad. A Rails transition in December is also bad. A Rails transition now, or next month, or the next month after that is good. I mean, that's because we don't want to be approaching a release, like a freeze, where everything's broken and then everything gets like thrown out from testing, and so we don't have a release. Instead of shipping the new and best release, I don't want to be in a situation where we don't have a version at all because it's broken.
Of course. But
Rails 6 won't be supported by upstream for long, right? I mean, if we do
that's the
ship
thing.
it.
We need to think about maintaining it in stable
Yes.
list, not just unstable.
So that's what I'm saying. If we want to do it, then we want to do it now in the next 2 months. At least start the next 2-3 months. We need to start it, and if it just looks crazy hard, then we organize a sprint and then we just do But like having a sprint to do the Rails transition then is like not a good idea.
No, maybe we should start earlier, and as you mentioned, if it becomes like something bigger and more complex than we were expecting, we can do something like that.
No, it's just as Utkarsh said, because if we just start a huge transition just before the freeze.
No, the
it's not
release
going to work.
wouldn't allow us to
Yeah.
start like
So
2 weeks before a freeze. A bit.
and if we don't do it, like then we are going to have the Rails 6 for another 2 years, which is not going to work either.
But the thing is, if we start the transition like in 2 months, we will need to finish it by the release date. That's the thing. So this is a commitment. If we start, we need to finish, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why.
I mean, finish in the sense we might have to drop some packages
Yeah,
that can
but
be fixed, but then
yes, and I think it's the good idea to drop packages, like if it's a live package and
I think leave it with me and Praveen. We'll get back to this.
what?
Leave it with me
Okay.
and Praveen.
So-
We'll just.
So when an action item?
Action item is leave it with me and Praveen, and we'll get back to this either on the list by the end of the next month.
So add
With-
an action item,
Yeah,
Okay.
I will. Sounds okay?
yeah.
Okay.
Right. So we have 1 minute.
Yes.
You have 1 minute to talk about your Rubocop thing.
All right. So we made this tool in 2021. It did not look like a big deal, but it looks like a lot of people have started to use it. As I have noted, the development is not so active, but it's really interesting that people have just started to use it. On rubygems.org, it has reached 2.1 million downloads, which may not be the best indicator, but 3,000 upstream repositories on GitHub has started to use this, and another 700, I think, have been using it on other things like GitLab and other hosted places. So it was really a good thing we did, and I think we would like to make it better. So perhaps, if we have more upstream devs helping us in the Ruby BoF, not the Ruby BoF, Ruby sprints and whatever. If we meet other upstream maintainers, we could talk about the pain points, and then we can bridge and we can add things here. But so far, this is looking good and great. We've had no critical bug reports, so it looks like we did a good job. So
This is a good example of like how great it is, like interacting with upstream developers for us. Like reduce our burden and all of that. So that's a great example.
Yeah, so this was the GSOC project I did with Tercero, so thanks, Tercero, wherever you are.
Right, so I think we covered everything here that we have some action items. So I think it was a good discussion that we had here, and that let's try to follow up on everything. And time is over, so thank you guys for joining me here. And also everyone, I don't know if someone's watching us online, but thank you very much for all your time, and see you.